with shows like Overlord that one time I was reincarnated as a slime, shield hero, and many more, gaining large popularity through these past couple of years, I started wondering one thing. Why? Why are all of these isekai so popular? While some of them garner their fame through great stories and amazing characters, some feel as if they simply gain viewership based off the fact that they are simply isekais. When I decided to think about it more, I came to a somewhat sad conclusion. Why do people play games, watch films or anime? Why do we drink alcohol even when we know it's damaging us? The simple answer is it's fun, but for some people this fun is an escape from reality. We all need an escape once in a while. However, in some cases, these things that we do use to escape reality can almost become damaging or possibly life-threatening. Some people do the same thing with work, making them workaholics sometimes. And obviously that's not healthy either. As someone that's not very old himself, I don't want to feel like I'm preaching, but I do believe life is about balance. Being able to balance the tough things in life with the happy and things that help us escape is the best way to live a functioning life, in my opinion. Isekai functions by the fact that it relates with people. Some people hate their lives, and most people are depressed these days. While I'm not sure if we're more depressed or we got asked the question and gave a proper answer for the first time, that's a topic for another time. This is something that I've thought about a lot throughout a different idea. If people could do full dive VR like SAO, some people wouldn't leave that world. The idea of being in a world where you're allowed to be a different person is appealing to people, and if they got a chance to restart their lives, they would. This has the same idea as going back in time and changing the little things. But if you restart, you'd get to change everything you don't like. The isekai idea plays with those things in our brains, making the story relate and resonate with some people. While some might think this is sad, I think this is a genius idea to start a story with problematic characters while adding a fantasy element. After all, most people find reality boring, and the idea of bettering yourself relatable. These ideas are best represented in a show called Mushoku Tensei, as the main character lived a terrible life and was a terrible person. In the story, he strives to learn and become a better person. If you want to know more about it, check out the video I made about it. It'll be in the top right, and I'll put it in the description for you. There are many ways that the story can be presented while still keeping the basic idea the same. Overlord has a great twist on the idea and is one of the most popular anime due to the way that he used the idea. The main change is how the MC doesn't feel human emotions properly anymore, as he's an undead, making his choices more evil the more this becomes normal to him. With a cast of interesting characters and a simple yet large world, it managed to capture the interest of many people that have watched it. As I myself write stories, this is a very interesting topic to think about, as there are many different archetypes of story writing, and Isekai is one of the more modern ones. Normally, this would restrict your freedom when writing a story. However, the idea of reincarnating in a different world allows a lot of freedom. As a reader and viewer of these stories, I always found myself fascinated, waiting to learn more about this new world and how it functions. Lastly, I'll talk about why isekais aren't going to be going away anytime soon. Think back 12 years. Do you remember all the zombie-themed books, games, shows, films, and stories? The reason why the zombie theme died was due to the restrictions the story revolving around them was. Most of the things happening were still based in reality, and honestly, there's only one movie series that I loved with the zombie theme, these being the Resident Evil films. Now, if you like the games, good, but the movies were their own thing, with the main character getting superpowers. A much different take on the zombie topic. The biggest difference between the two themes is the freedom that they allow when creating a world. Isekai allows two new worlds to be created, and depending on the way you decide to develop them, there's infinite possibilities. Creating a twist for these stories is easy and allows the creation of very different main characters from each other. If you think about it, a lot of the main characters in these worlds fundamentally have very different aspects to each other. For example, think about that one time I was reincarnated as a slime and overlord. Whilst you could say that they're both mobs/monsters, they still have very different characters. They even have different characteristics. And you could still make some comparisons between them. So for example, let's think about Shield Hero. The main character of Shield Hero is very different to them. And honestly, he has a totally different agenda. Honestly, think about it. With zombie shows, you're very much targeting a specific audience, which is adults. But with something like an Isekai, you could go for children, teens, or adults. Just like I said, the creative freedom is much larger with an Isekai type story. If you liked the video and want me to create more like it, hit the like button and make sure to subscribe for future anime content. Do you think there's more that I could have talked about, or do you think I made some bad points? Put it in the comments and let's start a discussion. I'll respond as fast as possible to any comments made. Also, sorry if the video was a little bit depressing. Wanted to make a little bit of a different type of video, and I still hope you enjoyed.